Hello, welcome once again to the English Corner. I'm Chris.
And I'm still Philip.
Haven't changed your name?
Haven't changed a bit.
But you changed your look a little bit with it.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit out of hand now, Chris. We're back to normal, back to a kind of normality next week. And once I live a week of relative normality, then I'm going to shave it.
So you said before when this corona thing is over, which I knew it will not be over for a long time, really over. But you say when we get back to relative normality,
yeah.
That means kids are in school.
Kids are at school.
You could go to a restaurant.
Restaurants important, pubs important.
You could have your beloved Men's Day tour.
Yes, that should all happen, hopefully next week.
Okay. Well, next week. That actually, if I am correct, when this video is airing on YouTube,
yeah,
it will be Men's Day.
Okay. Happy Men's Day.
So if you're watching this, yeah, but we don't have the right. Happy Men's Day, anyways. I have a question for the people watching at home on Men's Day.
Yeah?
How many fingers am I holding up? Yeah. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say Men's Day is, I think it's the best day of the year. You know, there are people in Ireland who still don't believe that we can do a pub crawl. Have you the term pub crawl?
Pub crawl. Well, I know what it means, but I've lived more internationally.
Yeah.
I think you know it in America too. Bar hopping.
Yeah, bar hopping. So you go from one bar to the next,
yeah.
And we call it a pub crawl because by the time you get to the last bar, you're crawling.
Yeah.
Crawling home.
Yeah.
Now, I've told Irish people that we do a pub crawl on bicycles. That's impossible. How can you cycle a bicycle when you're drunk? And I said, you should come to Orange on Miller Day and you'll see not just me, but a whole fleet of cyclists. What do you call a group of cyclists?
A fleet of cyclists?
A fleet of cyclists.
A flock.
A flock of cyclists. Yeah. All cycling home from the pubs drunk. And it's so flat and the weather's good. Mostly the weather's good. About 4 years ago, I got frostbite on Menard Tag.
What?
Yeah, it was
really
real
frostbite?
Real frostbite.
Wow.
half my big toe still missing. Yeah. No, it's great. It's the best day of the year. And it's the only day of the year where I enjoy Schlager. Actually, because I hate that music. But you're outside and lots of these pubs have sometimes live music, but speakers outside and music, and you go into these little areas along by the lakes and the bicycle paths and you can hear the Schlager for kilometres away, and then you arrive and it's so loud in your ears and you have a beer and you're half pissed and it's just, and I wish I could think of a Schlager. I can't even think of a Schlager song at the minute. But it's great.
Wow.
It's great.
I don't think I've drank enough to really like Schlager. But
oh yes, Menard Tag.
But I can't hold as much as you can.
And my seal, my aim every year is not to sleep on the last station. So we do around, I don't know the names of the little villages.
You mean at the pub? You fall asleep?
We start off at 10:30, 11, have a beer, cycle. I remember the first time we did it, you know, all the bike gear and your jacket in the back in case it got cold, and you had a little refreshment of some schnapps on your bicycle. You drank a beer on the bicycle and I went, right, here we go. And 5 minutes later, I saw the guys in front of me in our group turning left, and I went, somebody's had a puncture or something in their tire. No, it was the first pub, like 5 minutes after we started. So that's 11 o'clock. So we stopped and I thought, what's going on here? Another beer. So we had another beer like 5 minutes later. And then the same thing, that's the whole day long. There's no need telling those guys, they know. So you're on the road, cycling, stop for a beer, cycle, stop for a beer, cycle, stop for a beer. And then about 6 o'clock we finish up. And the last station, the last pub stop is always the little pub beside the stream in Dirkenhausen. What do you call it?
Dorfstubel.
Dorfstubel. So that's always our last stop. And I've done it now, I think maybe 5 years. And last year was my first year that I didn't fall asleep with my last beer.
So you fall asleep at the pub?
At the pub every year, fall asleep. And then have to be woken up to go home. So,
yeah.
So this time next week we'll be on the Menard tour.
So yeah, we haven't heard from Angie, but it does look like pubs will be open, and I don't know in what capacity exactly. I can't imagine it'll be full masses of people crowded together. I hope not.
Be difficult to stop.
But then we have some consequences 2 weeks later. But I think it's great that in some way we can celebrate. We can go out and I'll meet you.
How many weeks has it been?
This is week 8, I think.
Week 8.
Yeah.
So theoretically, next week, if we want to, we can go to a restaurant, have a meal and a drink. That's the new life, is it?
Yeah.
Going to restaurants.
I think it will.
I'm looking forward to that.
It will be limited capacities, and maybe you have to wear a mask when you're going in or something.
And then, Chris, what about the big question of our summer plans? You and I both have flights organised due to your heimat, your homeland in Florida, and me to dear old Ireland, and we don't know if they're going to happen. I read this week that Ryanair, and I have my flight booked with Ryanair, they plan to start flights from the 1st of July. But the Irish government said they cannot foresee flights this summer.
Any flights?
In or out of Ireland. Yeah.
Ooh.
Although they don't talk so much about flights going into Ireland, they're talking about Irish people leaving Ireland.
Going on holiday.
Yeah, but if I go to Ireland, I have to come back again. So I don't know. I've always flying has never been easy for me. I remember one time, many years ago, I was going to Strasbourg for a conference. This is like maybe 25 years ago. And it was the only time in my life that I flew business class because it was a special deal and I was going with my company. And so I went to the airport, and a part of this deal was a free whiskey, a complimentary whiskey, in the departure lounge of the airline. Can't remember which airline. So I looked out. Yeah, there it is. Passenger lounge. So in I went. Very plush area, nice leather seats. And I showed them my voucher, and they gave me a whiskey, and the whiskey was very nice. So I had another one, which I paid for, and another one. And then it was time for my flight. And I walked out, and the gate was just beside the lounge, as I thought. So I went in, they looked at my flight ticket, and off I went onto the aeroplane. Sitting on the aeroplane, half pissed, and this man came to get onto the plane, came to me and said, "Excuse me, you're sitting in my seat." And I said, "No, this is my seat." He says, "No, it's my seat." And I got up and I said, "Look, Campbell, 14D, whatever." And he went, and he looked at me, so he was confused. He went and sat down. A few minutes later, he came back and he said, "No, I have to tell you, this is my seat." And I said, "Look, it's my seat, but if this seat, it's just the same as that seat and all the other bloody seats, but if this seat is so important, if this seat is so important to you, you can have it." And he said, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay." So he went and sat down. A few minutes later, there was an announcement. "Is there a Mr. Campbell on this flight? And if so, can he please identify himself?" And I thought, what's going on here? So I put my hand up, and everyone looked. It's like in school, if you do something wrong. I put my hand up, and everyone looked at me. And the air hostess, flight attendant, the proper term now, came down to me and said, "Mr. Campbell, where are you going? Where are you going to this evening?" And I said, "I'm going to Strasbourg." And she says, "Well, we're all going to Paris." So I had to get off the flight. But before I got off the flight, I went, that was the exit door, but I went down that way. And the flight attendant said, "No, this way, Mr. Campbell." She thought I wasn't going to leave the flight. But I went just down to her and I said, "I'm sorry, you can have your seat back," and left.
But how do they let you on the plane?
Well, you see, whenever I left the plane, there were two flight officials having an argument about how they let me on. Because
somebody made a mistake?
Somebody made a mistake, yeah.
But then how do they know your name?
But you have to think, this is 25 years ago.
Okay.
And they didn't scan the tickets, they just checked the boarding class. I don't even think they looked.
Okay. It's not so easy these days to make such a mistake, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, well, We're happy that we get to have a little more fun, and we see the light at the end of the tunnel. Things seem to be opening a little bit, and we hope, cross the fingers, press the thumbs, that we can continue to enjoy the rest of our summertime as it comes. And the same for you. We'll see you next week, and have a good Men's Day and whatever you do for your nice long weekend.
Yeah, enjoy Men's Day, stay between the ditches.
Don't fall off the bike.
That's what I mean.
Joachim Ringelnatz, Fußball, nebst Abart und Ausartung. Der Fußballwahn ist eine Krankheit, aber selten, Gott sei Dank. Ich kenne wen, der litt akut an Fußballwahn und Fußballwut. So wie er einen Gegenstand in Kugelform und ähnlich fand, so trat er zu und stieß mit Kraft ihn in die bunte Nachbarschaft. Ob es ein Schwalbennest, ein Tiegel, ein Käse, Globus oder Igel, ein Krug, ein Schmuckwerk am Altar, ein Kegelball, ein Kissen war. Und wem der Gegenstand gehörte, das war etwas, was ihn nicht störte. Bald trieb er eine Schweineblase, bald steife Hüte durch die Straße. Dann wieder mit geübtem Schwung stieß er den Fuß in Pferdedunk. Mit Schwamm und Seife trieb er Sport, die Lampenkuppel brach sofort. Das Nachtgeschirr flog zielbewusst der Tante Bertha an die Brust. Kein Abwehrmittel wollte nützen, nicht Stacheldraht in Stiefelspitzen, noch Puffer außen angebracht. Er siegte immer 0:8 und übte weiter frisch, fromm frei, mit Totenkopf und Straußenei. Erschreckt durch seine wilden Stöße gab man ihm nie Kartoffelklöße. Selbst vor dem Podex und den Brüsten der Frau ergriff ihn ein Gelüsten. Was er jedoch als Mann von Stand aus Höflichkeit meist überwand. Dagegen gab ein Schwartenmagen dem Fleischer Anlass zum Verklagen. Was beim Gemüsemarkt geschah, kommt einer Schlacht bei Leipzig nah. Da schwirrten Äpfel, Apfelsinen durchs Publikum wie wilde Bienen. Da sah man Blutorangen zwetschgen, an blassen Wangen sich zerquetschen. Das Eigelb überzog die Leiber, ein Fischkorb platzte zwischen Weiber, Kartoffeln spritzten und Zitronen. Man duckte sich vor den Melonen, dem Krautkopf folgten Kürbisschütze, dann donnerten die Kokosnüsse. Genug! Als alles dies getan, griff unser Held zum Größenwahn. Schon schäkernd mit der U-Bootsmine besann er sich auf die Lawine. Doch als pompöser Fußballstößer fand er die Erde noch viel größer. Er rang mit mancherlei Problemen. Zunächst, wie soll man Anlauf nehmen? Dann schiffte er von dem Balkon sich ein in einem Luftballon und blieb von da an in der Luft verschollen, hat sich selbst verpufft. Ich warne euch, ihr Brüder Jahns, vor dem Gebrauch des Fußballwahns.